I just was released from jail in September, and I looked for a place. It's so hard to find a place when you first get out, so it's to the hostel, and you can only stay there for a little while. So had no other real choice but to get a hotel room, because it's hard being on a parole. You can't really live with other people, or you have to have it cleared and everything. It makes it just a big burden. So it's depressing at times. You have to be alone and stuff like that.
Currently, our housing situation, we're basically classified as transient. As you can see, we're living in a tent. It's not so bad because it's summertime. We do barbecue outside. We bounce from restaurant to restaurant when we do have the money. We also take advantage of the places that you people have, like Piers of the Round Table,
That's our
St.
favorite
George's
one. That's our
Church,
favorite one.
in out of the cold.
St. George's Church, I get into fights there every day.
You know.
How are you? Good.
Hot day, eh?
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing not having a place to go home every night where you can sit at your desk and, like, I plan to hopefully continue to work.
Oh, baby.
And
well, my current housing is I call myself homeless because you can rent a motel anywhere. It's not a home. It's a room. It's a place to sleep. That's all I have. That's all I can afford.
Well, I'm on methadone. I've been on it for about 15 years. My mental health issue is psychosocial adjustment disorder with post-traumatic stress, growing up in a rough neighborhood with both my parents were drinking.
We take medication because, people are doing street drugs. So which is it better, to go to a psychiatrist and say, hey, this is what's going on in this town, 15 years? Mike's not schizophrenic, I'm not schizophrenic. We got problems, and life can make you schizophrenic.
Yes, I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict, and I have post-traumatic stress disorder, depression and anxiety disorder, and ADHD.
And as you see, there's not much room. You can't walk around. I do my dishes in the bathtub and things like that. There's always negative influences at the hotels. You can hear them running around at night. There's a crew that drinks, and there's creepers who do drugs in here.
I went into a motel room, the motel room up on Princess Street. He said, we're not renting to you. I go, why? I got more money than you. Let me see your boss. He has to go in and rent the place. They won't rent it to me because I look like a junkie. Do I look like a junkie?
no.
Well, they see no teeth, that's poor hygiene. No, that's from living transient style. People steal our toothbrushes. People steal our shaving cream. I buy that. He buys that. We're paying for that. They're getting it free off us.
You can't plan anything ahead because you don't know that you could be kicked out of a motel room in one night. It's not even stable because there's no landlord and tenant rules with a motel. So if you happen to miss $5 less than what for your monthly rent, the guy can just say down the road.
Police do come here quite a lot. You always see the cop car or the fire engine come here for one reason or another. An ambulance will pull up, and it's somebody OD'd or something in one of the other rooms, or threatened to kill themselves because they couldn't take it anymore. So yeah, that happens a lot. You start thinking that could have been you, and you've been through the same thing as he did, and you didn't give up.
Like, we're not the only two people in this situation. We've met several other people who've been in this situation, and they stay out of sight. They've got a camp somewhere further outside of the city where they go to. We've been invited there, but we find we have a problem trusting
We don't trust
very
anybody.
few people. And of course, like the incidents we've explained to you, some people get so desperate, and then you have addiction problems on top of it and anger issues that, sure, they pretend to be your friend, but they invite you in, and then you wake up in the morning and your wallet is gone.
Or you're stabbed.
They fight at night, and people going in and out all the time, all hours of the night. You hear the doors bang and stuff getting broke, stuff like that. It's not a very nice place.
My hardest thing is to staying out of jail. If I could get a good house and be good, I think I could keep the house. It's a matter of getting the place. It's getting that first step and staying out of jail. I'm on the right frame of mind to stay out of jail right now. Now it's the point is to find a place. I mean, after you burnt bridges, it's so hard to mend a burnt bridge.
Tell them about when I lived on the boarding house on Montreal Street, what I went through. Tell them about how I lived, Mike. How did you find me? Tell them. Go ahead. Don't be scared.
There was a boarding house that she was living in, which almost every unit in there, when I met her, you were dealing with situations where people had mental health issues, but they also had addiction problems with illicit drugs. And they killed her cat. I walked in one day and her cat was dead on the floor with a needle sticking out of it. and it was not a very clean place. It's since been changed. The tenants are all gone out of there.
They stole my
building is
furniture, they stole
renovated.
my groceries, they stole
Our
my
money.
clothes, left me nothing. They pooped in my closet, human crap. My cat was dead. I walked in, the door was booted off the hinges.
In the homeless shelter, it was terrible because so many people have to fit into such a small area. It's a place to sleep, but that's, again, there's too much interruption, and you don't sleep good. Nobody sleeps good in a shelter. It's impossible. It's really bad for somebody that's anxious.
Past places, like if I went to jail and was with another spouse or another person, they seem to, once you're out the picture, they seem to don't care about your credit rating, and my credit rating's been ruined because of other people. So it makes it really hard to give references, and just to have just to get cleared. So it makes it very hard.
We're being discriminated against. Me and him I have the cash, he's got the brains, I got money, what's the problem? Oh, we want $3,000 to move in. There's $3,000 in cash. My trustee is at fault, okay? My grandmother died and left me money so that I would not be on the street. So my trustee, the person that's in charge of my inheritance, and I have the choice to say where and how I'm going to spend my money, not her, because it's my life. And I left my money to him. So, I have to die before he gets some money, and then he gets a place, a roof over his head, after they slit his throat down in the parks over here over a cigarette and a bottle of beer? I don't think so.
Landlords don't really like the instability of disability, because people, or when you have mental health issues, or my addictions kick up, and I spend my half of my rent on alcohol or drugs, then the landlord is without his payment, so you end up losing your, and then as you lose one after the other, your reputation to even be able to maintain, to get a house in the city is bad.
Some guys end up giving up and will go back to jail, and where they do have friends and they do have things to do, and they have a rating system where you are somebody now, whether it's in a clique or a gang, or you're part of something, and guys feel good about themselves, and they get very comfortable. More comfortable in jail, where when breakfast is, lunch is, and supper is when they ring that bell, it's time to eat. It's just like basically like an animal.
Most of our transportation cost is done by foot, so we wear out a lot of shoes.
Cabs. Cabs.
Every once in a while we have to take a cab, mainly because we do have the dog. He's not allowed on a city bus because he's not a CNI dog. And he's the best alarm system we've got. Sleeping in the tent, if someone's sneaking up on us in the tent, and we've had that happen to us where people have snuck up on our tent. And what their intentions were, we don't know, because he sounded the alarm, and of course, if they didn't see him and they heard him growl, they have a second thought about opening up the tent door, so they leave.
I've been in the hotel now 6 months, and I think there's a possibility that I'll probably be there until I am eligible for some kind of housing. And in Kingston here, the housing is 8 to 10 year wait for a single person. So I think I'm going to be in a motel a long time.
I just remember what I've been through in life and where I want to be, and I talk to my kids, and they're a real help with me. I mean, they're living in Peterborough, they're not in town, but I talk to them, and they really help me out. They keep me on the straight and narrow. You know, they've gave me all ultimatums. It's time to straighten out. You're getting to be a little too old for this game, and so they really help me out. And sometimes me helping other people helps me.
We're going to continue to look for housing.
Well, we got a business we're opening up.
If we do not get housing here, then we're going to have no choice, where we have to transfer our files and from office and maybe move to a different city.
Well, you know what?
And see how the situation changes
here,
from
Mike.
there.
It's not the issue here. Okay, you have a guaranteed income, you work, okay? You have your pension, you work. That's what 50 is all about. I've been working since I was 5 years old. My mother's restaurant. So I was doing the dishes on a step ladder, the sink, hand dishes. Okay, there was my 3 sons, Antonio's Pizzeria, Ava Sundry's Strip and Tell, X's Are Us, and now we're going to open up something that you want to do, because I don't have very much longer to live, right? See you guys at the shelter, or
If I can get a job that will pay me a little bit of money, that'll give me some money, more money to work with, and then I hope to find something that will suit that I can still get to the work. It's going to be tricky.
I heard the fire alarm, and it woke me up. So then I had 2 chairs holding the door shut, because I always do that just in case somebody tries to kick it in. So I got the 2 chairs away, and by the time I got the 2 chairs away, there was smoke coming over top of my door. So I ran out the other door onto the balcony, and then I had no shoes or anything. The fire department came and they let me down, and I didn't have to get too much smoke, so I was okay. I'm living at the shelter, the homeless shelter, and it's kind of it's not the best, but I'll be out of there. I'm working on getting out, so it's good for temporary, but there's a lot of things that affect my mental health badly.
And you just got to remember to just keep striving. As long as you're working towards your goal, even if it's a small-term goal, working towards your main goal is to get another place. As long as I keep doing everything, every week I'm doing something to better my situation, and it really helps, So it does. As long as I'm trying, I know it's a little better than just sitting around waiting for somebody else to help me.